Hello friends, we can see the working principle of voltage control oscillator. Here this is the pin diagram, that is the pin configuration of voltage control oscillator, and this circuit shows the voltage control block diagram, that is VCO block diagram. Here when we are seeing the circuit diagram, here this consists of in the pin diagram it consists of 8 pins, that is the first one is the grounded and second one is we are just not giving any connection, that is no connection is given to the second pin. To the third and fourth, from the third and fourth pin we are just getting the square wave output and also the triangular wave output, and the VCC supply it is given to the 8th pin, and the VC, that is the modulated input voltage, that is VC, it is given to the 5th pin, via the 7th and 6th pin are connected to the external. We are just connecting the external capacitance and external resistance. It is marked as C suffix T and R suffix T. Here we are see the working principle. Here the timing capacitor CT is linearly charged or discharged by the constant current source or link, and the amount of current can be controlled by changing the voltage VC applied at the modulated input, that is pin 5, or by changing the timing resistor RT externally to IC pin, that is IC, that is chip IC, and also here the voltage at pin 6 it is held at the same voltage at pin 5. It is, that is the pin 5 and pin 6 voltages are same. Thus if the modulating voltage at pin 5 is increased, the voltage at pin 6 is can also be increased, resulting in less voltage across RT, thereby decreasing the charging current. And also a small capacitance of 0.001 microfarad should be connected between 5th and 6th to eliminate the possible oscillations. And the VCO is commonly used in converting low frequency signals, that is EEG signal into a audio frequency range. Thus if the audio signal can be transmitted over telephone lines or a two-way radio communication system, and for further diagnostic purpose it can be recorded on the magnetotape for further references. And also the voltage across the capacitor CT is applied to the inverting input terminal of Schmitt trigger to the, that is via that is buffer amplifier A1, and the voltage and the output voltage swing of the Schmitt trigger is designed to VCC and 0.5 VCC. Here if RA equal to RB in the positive feedback loop, the voltage at the non-inverting input terminal of A2 swings from 0.5 VCC to 0.25 VCC. Here this diagram shows the typical connection diagram and also the waveform for the that is obtained from the 3rd and 4th pin. Here when you are taking this figure, see when the voltage on the capacitor CT exceeds 0.5 VCC during charging, the output of the Schmitt trigger goes 0.5 volt, 0.5 VCC. And also the capacitor now charges and discharges, and when it is at 0.25 VCC, the output of the Schmitt trigger goes high, that is VCC. Here since the source and sink currents are equal, the capacitor charges and discharges for the same amount of time, that is the charging and discharging of the capacitor will remain constant, that is will be same. This gives a squaring waveform. Due to the charging and discharging of the capacitor, it gives the triangular voltage waveform, that is across CT, which is also available at pin number 4. And the squaring wave output of the Schmitt trigger, it inverted by the inverter A2, A3, and is available at pin 3. Here we are just getting, that is the last graph, which the last graph, it just gives the output of the inverter A3, and it is basically a current amplifier that is used to drive the load. Here when we are seeing the total voltage on the capacitor charges from 0.25 VCC to 0.5 VCC, therefore the change in voltage can be given by 0.25 VCC, and the capacitor charges with a constant current source loss that is given by del V by del T equal to I by Ct. Here we are substituting the value of del T, and further simplification we are just getting the value for del T equal to 0.25 VCC into Ct divided by I, and the time period T of the triangular wave equal to 2 into del T. Therefore, the frequency of oscillation F naught is F naught equal to 1 by T, which is equal to the value of T equal to 2 into del T. We are substituting the value. After substituting the value, we are just getting the value of F naught equal to 1 by I by 0.5 VCC into Ct. Here we know that the value of I equal to, that is the current in between the RT, can be given by the nodal equation, that is I equal to VCC minus VC divided by RT, where VC is the voltage at pin 5. Here we are substituting the value for I in the above equation. We are just getting the value for F naught equal to this value. We are just marking this as equation 1. Here in this F naught, it depends upon the value of Ct, RT and Vc. Therefore, the output frequency of VCO can be changed either by RT, Ct or the voltage Vc at the modulating input terminal, that is pin 5. Here the voltage Vc can be varied by connecting a R1 and R2 circuit in figure 6. Figure D, and also the components RT and CT are first selected so that the VCO output voltage lies in the center of the operating frequency range. Here, when no modulating input signal, that is if the voltage at pin 5 is biased at 7.8 VCC, that is equation 1, where we are substituting the value for Vc, that is Vc equal to 7/8 VCC. Therefore, the output frequency can given by this equation 2, that is F naught equal to, here we are substituting the value for Vc, and further simplification we are just getting the value as 0.25 by RT/Ct, that is marked as equation 2. Therefore, the VCO output voltage can be given by F naught equal to 0.25 into divided by RT by Ct. Now we can find the voltage to frequency conversion factor. The voltage to frequency conversion factor can be given by kV equal to, and it is defined as kV equal to del F naught by del C. Here that is del Vc is the modulator voltage required to produce the frequency shift, that is del F naught for a VCO, and therefore the original frequency is taken as F naught and the new frequency is taken as F1. Therefore, the change in frequency can be given as del F naught equal to F1 minus F naught. After substituting the value of F1 and F naught, we are after further simplification we are just getting the values 2 into del C divided by Ct RT into VCC. From this we are just finding the value of del Vc, and it is marked as equation 3. From equation 2, we get the value for F naught equal to 0.25 into divided by RT into CT. From this, we are just finding the value for RT and CT. We are substituting the value for RT and CT in the above equation. Therefore, we are just getting the value for del Vc. Here, we know that is the voltage to conversion factor can be given by del V equal to del F naught by del Vc. Therefore, after substituting the values, we are just getting the value as kV equal to 8 F naught by VCC. Therefore, this formula is used for while we are solving problems. Okay, that's about the operation of voltage control oscillator. Okay, thank you.